So all of the family, my grandparents and uncles and aunts, of course, were all elated, and then here I was coming back a movie star. So it was quite a Christmas. But by the time the next Christmas rolled around, things weren't so cheerful.
Right, Hitler had not told them the truth.
We spent Christmas there, and it was really a thrilling experience. I was old enough to be, I was 12, so I was old enough to be aware that this was not just an ordinary movie, although of course nobody ever dreamed that people would be looking at it 70 years later or whatever it is.
Well, it holds up quite well.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it holds up quite well. It's amazing that the film is a little sweet, old-fashioned and sentimental, but it still touches and moves an audience today.
It does. I still get letters from people who have just seen it, and who say, I've just seen Goodbye Mr. Chips for the 30th time or something, and I'm still, pulling out the Kleenex. But I think my opinion is that it's his performance that sustains that film. He was an extraordinary, sensitive, and just brought a dimension to everything he did. Even something like 39 Steps, he makes that character have more than just the usual Hitchcock leading man. And he was a dedicated actor, probably a memory that would have some meaning for anybody seeing the film. On a movie set, there's a lot of fooling around, especially in those days. On a big, high-budget film like that, they took hours and hours to write the scenes beautifully, and they took great care. And if it didn't look good in the rushes, they'd do it again. It was a very time-consuming approach to making film. Not like today with the handheld cameras and everything, you can do all sorts of different things. But anyway, there's a lot of fooling around, and the technical people, they don't really much care about what movie they're working on. They're just there to earn a living and have some fun. And he, in the beginning, he tried to sort of join in that and be part of but he finally had to ask Sam Worthy that you just got to, not that it was chaotic or anything, it wasn't that, it wasn't bad, but it was distracting for him. He wanted to keep his mind on who he was at that moment and what was happening to his character at that moment. And that's hard to do, over a sustained period, day after day. And I was just fascinated to see how concentrated he was, and how, as he played the old man, he stayed in character even between scenes. I remember we had some guests visit the set, and I introduced them to him, and he was in the old man's makeup at that point, and he stayed in character. He stayed all Chips, talking to these people, and I thought, a lot of people think, that's kind of an artsy thing to do, but I thought, no, this is a dedicated actor. And I think he knew it was a part of a lifetime. And also, he was very ill. He had terrible asthma. He died very young.
Yes.
And I think he would have been equal to Olivier in reputation had he not been so sick. And the ironic thing is that when I, as an adult, I became a director, and I went back to England, and I directed for several years in London, and I did several plays with his widow, Renee Asherson. she's the Princess Catherine and Olivier is Henry V. And so that was kind of a full circle sort of thing. Anyway, any other questions? Once I get started talking about the old days, I go on forever.
Well, I'm just taking notes, Terry, on what you have to say. It's fascinating. Could I ask you a little bit about, you spoke about Sam Wood discovering you. You talked about Robert Donat staying in character in between takes. What was Greer Garson like? I've read her autobiography, and she talked about, since it was her first film, she was kind of thrown by the fact they had to take the same scenes over and over from different cameras, different angles,
right.
And she had a hard time keeping in character and staying comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah, it is very difficult. I remember reading once what Katharine Hepburn said, that she always knew the script backwards, forwards, sideways, and inside out, because otherwise you can be shooting a scene and you can't quite remember where was this character psychologically at this point.
Right.
And if you're playing the leading role, that's important. It doesn't matter so much if you just got a couple of scenes, but to sustain that character development is crucial.
But she was amazing in the role and Oscar nominated, which is kind of surprising. When she talked about how difficult it was to make the film, she mentions that she went to both Robert Donat and to Sam Wood a couple of times during the film to ask for coaching because she was having a hard time keeping it together. But did you have any scenes with her? I can't remember if you did.
There's only two very brief scenes, and they're all with other boys, so it wasn't, I had no scenes just with her myself, and I did not really get to know her. I was just a boy, but I did see her over the years occasionally, and we sort of had a special little feeling of having been in that very special film together. She was always very charming, but sort of a grand leading lady. I always remember her saying something to me once. I don't know what we were talking about, but she said, Garson's set was always a happy set.
Oh, that's sweet.
She made sure that the crew and everybody was enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I heard that when she was on Pride and Prejudice that she insisted they have tea every day, and she treated all the supporting players as if they were leads. Yeah,
right. I'm sure that's true. And I know that the word around the studio where Chips is being shot at the MGM studio in Denham, outside of London, everybody loved her. She was very popular. But I personally didn't have, that was just, as I say, being a kid. I wasn't spending a lot of time with the adults.
Yes, but it was kind of interesting that among the other young child actors in the film, I know that they used actual schoolboys for extras in some scenes, but you're the student, the child actor, seen throughout the film, really from one of the very first scenes to the flashback scene at the train station. He sees you going into the train car. You're the boy that takes away his hat and tries to mess it up in the schoolroom. You reoccur throughout the film. I think it's great. You're actually credited.
Excuse me. These modern phones go in and out, and I couldn't hear the last thing you said.
Well, I was just talking about how many times you appear in the film, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Your character keeps popping up, and I find it fascinating. You're actually credited third in the film.
Yeah, well, at that time I was enjoying my brief moment of fame. I had been in several other movies, and MGM had plans for me, But unfortunately,